Okay, hey folks. I'm over here scrambling, trying to finish some stuff for you. And so give me just a moment to get it together. Hope everybody's doing well. I was trying to sketch something out for y'all, and we'll see what happens with it. But I hope everybody's doing just fine out there, wherever you may be. Hope you're enjoying this time of year. It is beautiful here in Nashville. It's kind of hot, if I'm being honest. But trying to make it work. I was working on a couple of things earlier today, so I'll kind of show you some of that. And let's see. I want to make sure that everything is looking good here for y'all, which I think that it is. Yeah, looks like we are good to go. So I'm trying to write something every week that I can play for you guys. So I was just working on this thing. I came up with a little idea on the Barry sax, and I just kind of pieced it together. There's a buddy of mine, Derek Phillips, who has a really great drum library that I can work with, and I think you can buy it. It's like $50 or something. Derek Phillips drums. I'm not even sure what it's called, but I'll find out, and I'll let you know. But it's killing. He's a beautiful, beautiful player, and so I came up with this groove and put it down, and so I'm going to play a little bit of a snippet of this for you. I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure if it's any good. I think it's going to be fun, but I'm going to play it for you, and then I might even kind of drop a couple of parts in while you're here with me. This is what I've got so far. Talk about chicken scratch, you know. But it's kind of a funky tune, and it's got a couple of different parts to it. So let's listen down together to a little bit of it here and see how it sounds. Remember, this is just a little demo that I'm working on, just for you. One, two. Bridge section. Okay, so that's sorry about that. I don't know what happened there, but anyway, so that's the tune. So it's a couple of A sections and a B section. So what I did on the baritone part, I'm gonna solo with the Barry part for you here for a second. And then what I did is I put on some effects. What have I got on here? I've got on some kind of flanger. Yeah, it's some kind of flanger, which makes the sound flange. That's the only way I can explain it. But well, you'll hear what it does. Right, so those baritone parts together, if I solo them up, is this. Hey, Natalie, what's happening? Right, so then with the drums, I'll just give you a little taste of the drums here. They have a lot of reverb on them, and for whatever reason, that's just how they came. But this is how they sound. All right, super reverby. So there's a click track for you. All right, Doug Cormier, good to see you, buddy. So, anyways, again, the melody with the drums here is this so far. 1, 2, 3. Hey, Jill Long, what's happening? Right. So anyway, so after the bridge section, what I was thinking, there'd be a couple of solo sections, and then it kind of goes back into the melody and back out. Let's listen to the end there. It's kind of a vamp out. So there's something weird in the tenor part. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I can fix that later. So I don't know. I think that what I'm going to do now for you is just, do a little tenor solo action. What the heck, So let's do that. Let me get this set up for you. And if you have some questions, go ahead and throw them into the chat, and my friend Julia, who's helping me out here, will send these over to me, and we will get to them in a little while. I got a couple of cool things for you tonight. I've got a couple of things I want to play. A video that came out today also that all the donations go to Music Cares, the Grammy Music Cares Foundation. So, all right. So let me get this together here. I'm going to bring my volume down a little bit so I don't crush too many eardrums here. And I want to thank you guys. Ooh, look at that reverb. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. This is in the studio through itastudiostreams.com. And, short of being on the road, this is basically what we can do these days. And if you go to itastudiostreams.com, there is a donation button there, a PayPal button, and all that money goes to local Nashville musicians who are out of work right now. So if you're so inclined, I always say no amount is too small, certainly no amount is too large. So just want to let you know that, itastudiostreams.com. All right, so I'm going to play a little solo for you, a couple of choruses of this, and see how it sounds. And if you have any name ideas also, let me know. I may use them. Who knows? I'm still mulling over the one from last week. And some folks had some good ideas on that. So, okay, I am going to play a solo now on this brand new tune that I literally finished putting into Pro Tools here at 6:59 p.m. tonight. Wish me luck. Okay, that's the solo section. Do, do, do. Take out some of this reverb for you so you can hear me again. Okay, so let's see what happened there. Hope nobody got hurt. I think I made it through okay. My level was a little loud. So what you can see here, and I'm going to flip this around. I wonder if I can flip it around midstream. I think I can. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so what you're seeing here, that's the solo I just played. And the level was pretty hot. So I'm just going to bring it down just a touch, which I can do with that little button right there. And let's see. I'm going to go ahead and play that for you. Let's see what happened. If you look at the cursor, that's where we are right here. Bridge. What's up, Kyle Cormier? Bridge. And then I'm back into the melody. So I'm going to expand this part right here so you can kind of see what's going on. If we look here, I'm going to do a little editing for you, just some real quick stuff. All right, so I kept on playing, so I'm going to make a little mark right there, and I'm going to gray this out. So I'm muting this section. So and so I maybe like what I played there a little bit better. So let's check that out. Hey, Lachlan. So I'm going to go through and I'm actually going to play this little melody right here again. That be up, day up, that part there. And you can watch it as I record it, if I do this correctly. Yep, that'll be that little section right there. Let's see where I am in the part. Whoops. Okay, expand that out a little bit. Okay. And here we go. Put this into record. Here we go. Oh, I'm way too loud. Way too loud. Let me bring this down a bit and try it again. Can we do that one more time for you? Here we go. Level's pretty good. Oh boy, that was terrible. Okay, that was better. Let's listen to that and see how it sounds. Okay, here we go. Yeah. And then what I'll do is I'll go back into this part right here. So it's not overlapping because I don't want two tenors at the same time. I'm going to bring that back like that. Yeah, all right. So let's see what's cooking there. All right. Let's go right from the top and listen down. See what happens. See what we got. 1, 2. Review the whole thing there. Bridge. Here's the solo section. This is what the flanger on. That's my Prince lick. Yeah, go ahead, Don. Get up out your chair. Jump on up. back into the melody. Yeah, so on and so forth. So it just kind of goes out from there, you know. Bring you guys back around so I can see you. Well, I can't really see you, but you can see me. And so yeah, that's kind of the idea on that tune. And I don't know where it's going to lead. I don't know what it's going to do. I don't know what's going to happen to it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And so let's see. What else am I going to play for you here? I think, well, there's a video actually that I wanted to play for you. Let me see if I can find it. And I played on this thing a little while back. This is actually raising money. This video is raising money for Music Cares. I'm going to get to the link here.
Hey, y'all, it's Luke Bryan here, and I want to tell you about...
Okay, so there's a bunch of cool folks on this. Brad Paisley's on this. Jonathan Cain from Journey. Steve Wariner. Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award winner Chuck Leavell from the Rolling Stones. And a bunch of Luke Bryan's band. Sonny Emery from Eric Clapton playing drums. Myself. A few other Nashville folks. Keith Smith's on here, and Roy Agee, Mark Douthit, a whole bunch of folks. And so on this video that I want to show you, because it just came out today. Whoops. Just dropped you. This video just came out today, so I want to play it for you. And the donation money that goes to this cause goes to Music Cares, the Grammy Foundation. And you can see up here in the upper right-hand corner is the donation button. And I am going to send out this link to you so that you can check it out further. And if you want to, you can donate there. Let's see what it says here also. Let's see. Song is written on March 29th. Written by Scotty Wilbanks and recorded over the next few months all at our different homes. So there's a bunch of cool links on here, and I hope you're going to check it out. I'm going to play it for you right now. It's pretty good. It's pretty fun. So dig this.
Hey, y'all, it's Luke Bryan here, and I want to tell you about this one-of-a-kind all-star band collaboration featuring some incredible players like my friend Brad Paisley, Jonathan Cain from Journey, Steve Wariner, Chuck Leavell from the Rolling Stones, and, of course, all of the guys in my band and many more. Great musicians. They got together and created a great song full of heart and intention to help our fellow musicians by raising funds for the Music Cares COVID-19 Relief Fund. Music Cares helps music people in crisis, and we all want to do our part to help during these difficult times. Y'all check this out. Please click on the Music Cares link below. No donation too small or too big. Thank you for supporting music and the people who make it. Here's the Quarantine All-Stars.
Hey, Argentina. Brad Paisley killing it on guitar. Mark Dalton up there. Roy Agee. Smith. A whole bunch of Nashville cats. Oops. Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, it sure was. See how clever it was? They said quarantine. Yeah, there's a little reply. Oh, look at that. So Grammy.com/musicares. Grammy.com/musicares. And so yeah, there you go. That just came out today, and hope you dug that. Sure. Okay, take two. I have no idea what happened, but apparently the video stopped. So I am back. I am back. I am back. I don't know where I went, but I'm back. Sorry about that, folks. This is a semi-professional operation at best. Okay, tonight I think it's a little less than semi-professional. It's more like a wee bit professional tonight. So sorry about that. I was trying to get some questions from my friend Julia, and in huge red letters it said the live video has stopped. So I saved what I had done and jumped right back on for y'all. So yeah, I don't know. I've dropped the phone twice. My video has stopped. I keep like pulling up stuff that's overlaying other things. I don't know what's going on with me tonight, but must be the new moon. Yeah, Don, I'm glad I'm back too. Okay, so let's see. We were supposed to be in Raleigh, North Carolina tonight with Dave Matthews Band, and I just want to say hi to all the fans in Raleigh and all the fans who bought tickets for this year that are going to have to use them next year. We're sorry we're not on the road. Wish we could see y'all, but we need to do it when it's safe and make sure that everybody is safe. Not just a select few. So it's the right thing to do. It's unfortunate, but we think about y'all, and really wish that we were out there making music for you. So we can do this kind of thing. We get the drive-ins, the DMB drive-in things. I've got this. I think that Dave is still doing his thing, and so just trying to stay in touch with everybody and keep our community rolling along together. So thanks for tuning into this as well. All right, so let's see. There's a couple of questions. Let's see. What is my favorite saxophone to play? Well, I would have to say the tenor. The tenor is, really close to the human voice. I don't know. It just feels like my voice. I would say that the soprano is probably second, but the tenor, if I'm going to go to a jam session or go sit in with somebody, that's the horn I'm going to bring. And all my saxophones are Yamahas. Not sure if you can see on the, well, it's reversed, but you can see the reverse Yamaha there. And this is unlacquered. It's got no lacquer on the horn. That's why it looks like it's 1,000 years old. And I'm playing one of my buddy Jack Finucane's necks on here, called the Heritage Neck from the Boston Sax Shop, which is fantastic. I'm playing a D'Addario tenor mouthpiece, the Select Jazz mouthpiece. One of Jack Finucane's new ligatures, which is really beautiful. You can see he's done the annealing on it with one of those things that goes, puts all these little marks in there. And so, yeah. My flute, my piccolo, my alto flute are all Yamahas. Baritone, alto, soprano, all Yamahas. And hey, Lyndon, nice to see you. Thanks for checking this out. Okay, so there's a flute player. I'm not sure who it was, but they've played flute for a long time, since second grade. Holy smokes. When you go to sax to flute, how is it that you adjust your chops? I've played flute for 37 years since second grade. Can't even fathom how to adjust from one woodwind to another. It's so different. That's true, actually. They are very different. So most saxophone players are expected to play flute, and I play quite a lot of flute, and I'm actually just in the process of finishing a flute etude, an improvisational flute etude book. And I see someone just signed on from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Hey, Roberto, thank you so much for checking this out tonight. But so the embouchure is very different. The flute embouchure is more like a trumpet embouchure. I'm not sure if you can see this. It's almost like you're like spitting like a split pea out of your mouth or something. So it's a very different embouchure. It gives us a lot of sound potential when we are in a section, or if we're in the studio or something, kind of just gives us a lot of possibilities to find some different sounds to work on and to work with. So I play flute, alto flute, bass flute, piccolo, clarinet, bass clarinet, kind of the whole gamut of things. But so basically, it's practice. It's taking the time to just shed on the instruments and doing long tones and scales. Playing the instruments as much as possible, really working out on them. So yeah, I do a lot of the same things I do on those instruments as I do on saxophone, and when I teach, which I do a lot of, the things that I'm having my students work on are things that I've either worked on or that I am currently working on. And so, I definitely, uh, I walk the walk also. I don't just talk the talk. So the things that I'm working on are things that I have my students working on, and vice versa. Because it works. It's all basically the same stuff. It's all dealing with fundamentals and that kind of thing. Someone's asking, are fingerings on the flute different? Some of them are the same. Some are different. Every instrument has a little bit of a different set of fingerings and that kind of thing. Someone requested a small tour of a saxophone. They've never seen one up close before. Man, I would love to do this. Okay. So let's start at the top. This is the mouthpiece. Okay. That's the reed. And that's the ligature that holds the reed on. The silver piece is the ligature. This is the neck. This is the octave mechanism. Okay. This is what allows me to play a little bit higher. When this goes up, the horn vents. And this is how it sounds, just this part. I can also play like a slide whistle if I put my finger into it. Okay, so that's the neck. This is a very important part of the instrument. The body of the horn, I think the saxophone has 23 keys. I think that's right. So the body of the instrument, as you can see, it's quite mechanical. Okay, all sorts of. So this is mother of pearl, mother of mini pearl, here on the buttons. And again, this horn has no lacquer on it. That's why it's not shiny at all. But yeah, basically you can hear how it sounds. This is just pressing down the keys. So if sealing, if all the pads are sealing, which hopefully they are, it'll make those little tones. And so that's kind of it. I mean, that's kind of the horn. Oh, it's got pads in it. I'll see if I can show you here. If you look in the keys there, let me see. I think I have a flashlight in here. I certainly do. Okay. Let's see if I can coordinate this. Okay, so if you see in here, okay, you can see the pads in there. They're made of leather. Okay. And they have what's called a tone booster in there, or a resonator. And that helps to reflect the sound. Okay. And you might be able to see the pads here as well. This is hard to do backwards. But you can see the leather pads there also along those lower notes. And so yeah, I mean, the saxophone is a pretty delicate instrument. It's pretty fragile in a lot of ways, and so you got to take care of it. Just like any instrument, you got to take care of it. So yeah, no, that's fun. I've never actually done that particular thing before, given a little tour of the saxophone. I like that. Somebody asked, what other instruments, if any, will you add to that last tune? Excuse me. Well, it's hard to say. But there'll probably be a bunch of different stuff, and I'm just not sure yet. I'm just not sure. Definitely keys. Probably some other saxophones. I mean, I've got some ideas of some other stuff that I want to add. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how far it even goes. Let's see, what made me make the switch from Selmer to Yamaha? Yeah, I used to play a Mark 6 tenor, and Yamaha came to me many years ago when I was out with the Flecktones, and they called me up, and they said, hey, this is so-and-so from Yamaha, and, we'd love to we'd love to meet you. And have you ever played Yamaha horns before? And I had, and I honestly wasn't crazy about them at the time. And I said, yeah. And they said, what were your impressions of them? So I was very honest with them. And so we talked about it a little bit. And they said, well, we've just developed a new horn that we would love for you to try out. And, we would just get some of your opinions about it. And, just tell us what you think so we can make it better. And so I said, okay, fair enough. And so they came to the Flecktones gig. They brought a bunch of horns, and they were really good. And I said, wow. I said, these are unlike any Yamahas I've ever played before. And they said, yeah, it's this new line we're calling the 82Z. And so they stayed for the show, and we hung out. And in maybe a month or so, so we had talked about it. I said, have you considered dipping the horns, like taking the lacquer off of the instruments? And so we talked about what that does to the instrument, blah, blah, blah. And about a month later, I was up in Grand Rapids with the Flecktones. They called me again, and they said, our shop, our Yamaha factory is here in Grand Rapids. Do you want to come by and see how saxophones are made? And I was like, absolutely. They said, what time can you be ready? I said, how quickly can you be here? So we went over, and they said, oh, by the way, bring your horn. We dipped 4 of the horns for you to check out. They took all the lacquer off the instruments. And so one of those 4 horns is the horn that I just showed you. And I couldn't believe it. It played so beautifully, and incredible quality. The Japanese quality is the absolute highest I've ever seen. And they make incredible instruments. So that's kind of why I changed. It was a great horn. It's not a 50 or 60-year-old horn like the Selmer was. It can definitely take the road better. I can get my sound on it. I love the instrument. I love the way it plays, ergonomics of it, the quality of it, everything. So it's fantastic. It's fantastic. This is an interesting question. How hard was the transition from Bela to Dave? It wasn't actually a very difficult transition. The transition for me was understanding my role in the group. Like with the Flecktones, because there were only 4 of us, it was sort of like 4 corners of a building holding the building up. But with Dave Matthews Band, my role in the horn section is definitely different than it is with the Flecktones. Even though with the Flecktones, there's a supportive role that's going on when someone else is playing, still the part is sort of ongoing all the time. Being in a horn section is different. It's still a supportive role, but it's kind of reinforcing a bit more of a rhythmic component of what we're doing. So the transition wasn't crazy difficult. I would imagine that it was more difficult for the guys in the band having a new member come in under such, unique circumstances. And so, they were incredibly supportive and unbelievably helpful. And as were the fans. When I came into Dave Matthews Band, the fans knew the music better than I did. And I was the same with the Flecktones. So, look, the fans make what we do possible. And they really do make what we do. So I can't thank the fans enough. Flecktones fans, Dave Matthews Band fans, all the other fans that come out to all the other gigs, and the education stuff I do also, the students, the teachers, the parents, all the folks behind the scenes, our crew. We have an unbelievable crew that, they just go above and beyond every single night. And so big thanks and big love to all of them as well. Someone's asking, does the bighorn take a lot more air than the other saxophones? By the bighorn, they mean the baritone sax that you can see right here. And yes, it does. I remember one time we were playing Running Down a Dream, the Tom Petty tune, and there's a guitar line, or something like that, right? And so I was like, okay, well, I'll just double that on baritone. And I remember on one, and so it's down in the low end. So, man, I'm like pushing a lot of air, a lot of air. And there was one night that I think Tim was soloing at the end of it, and it kept going, and it kept going, and it kept going, and I'm thinking, this is where I die. And so we get done with the tune, and so everybody's watching Timmy, and as soon as we finish, Dave spins around with this look. He's like, ha 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 ha, kind of looks at me because he knew what I was dealing with playing that part, and man, it was one of the hardest parts I've ever had to play, not technically but physically, and so it's it was a challenge. Well, I like this one too. Another Dave Matthews question: what would a typical day be like on the road with DMB? Like back-to-back days at SPAC, back-to-back at SPAC. I like that. Well, it's interesting. For me, when I'm on the road, I try to sleep as much as possible. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But rest is a premium. Getting enough rest on the road is hugely, hugely important. And so, I get some rest. I usually try to get some exercise, get some good food, catch up on work, usually in the hotel room, whether it's emails or whatever it is that I have to do. When I get to the venue, I normally go to the tuning room, which is the horn room. All our horns kind of reside in there, and I'll practice for a while, warm up, play some things, make sure that everything is playing. I play all my horns every day, just to make sure everything is cool. And so Rashawn and I share that room, so we hang for a bit. Every now and then we'll do some playing together, but he's usually working on some different things, as am I. And but we'll sometimes warm up at the same time also. We'll just be playing different things at the same time, and which is actually really good for concentration and focus. And then usually have like a late lunch. Sometimes we'll rehearse with the band for an hour and a half, something like that. And then we chill. Sometimes, I'll do a little meditation. Sometimes I'll take a nap. Sometimes I'll see friends that are at the gig, spend a little time with them. And then we play the gig. And then we either get on the bus and go somewhere, or get on the bus and go to the airport, get in a plane and go somewhere and do it all again the next day. And but if we're in the same place, we go back to the hotel, chill, see some friends, get some sleep, then kind of the same thing the next day. And that's kind of the deal. And hey, Mike Wagoner from Nashville. I'm in Nashville too. And so yeah, thanks for checking it out. Thanks for being here. And I also saw someone is in from Homer, Alaska. I was in Homer years ago. I think they said 2006, and that was a long time ago, man. But I do remember Homer. I think it was said that Homer, Alaska, was a drinking village with a fishing problem. I think that's right. But we stayed at I think it's called Land's End or something. Is that what it's called? There's this really cool hotel that overlooked the water, and man, it was just beautiful. We were there with the Flecktones. We were in Anchorage and Fairbanks, and man, I just loved going to Alaska, and I would definitely come to Alaska again, for sure. And so anyhow, let's see. We got about a couple more minutes left here, and I'm not going to get to all these questions tonight, obviously. And someone was asking how the lacquer on the instrument affects the sound. That's an interesting question. Because most of my horns have no lacquer on them. I feel like taking the lacquer off of the horn frees up the resonance a little bit. Whereas if you have lacquer on the instrument, it's kind of keeping it tight. It's almost like wearing spandex as opposed to like some really loose fitting clothing. I just think that things can move around a little bit better. And hey, Michelle Stewart, Half Moon Bay. There is a tune called Half Moon Bay from the Flecktones that Bela wrote about Half Moon Bay. And greetings from the Czech Republic. Marcella. Hey, Marcella from the Czech Republic. Hope you're doing well over there. I was actually just in touch with a friend of mine in the Czech Republic earlier. And so, yeah. Oh, very cool. Very cool. So anyway, so I think that the lacquer, taking the lacquer off opens up the instrument a little bit. And it just gives a little bit more vibration in the sound. And so yeah, most all my horns have no lacquer. The baritone still has lacquer, just because I think it would be too hard to take it off of there. And I remember years ago, I had my first, I think it was my first Mark VI tenor. Let's see what I can almost remember the serial number. I'm such a nerd. But I remember I wanted to take the lacquer off of it. And back, with the older horns, it was quite easy to take the lacquer off of it. And I don't recommend this, but you take all the keys off, right? And you put it in a bathtub, and you basically pour boiling water on the instrument. Then you take a brush as it starts to come off, and you can, right? And all the lacquer just kind of floats on the top of the water. I did this in my bathtub in Texas, at University of North Texas, and I took all the lacquer off of my tenor that way. And again, I don't recommend it, but so yeah. And then I had to put it all back together, and I think it was okay, but again, I wouldn't recommend doing that. Jacob Hess is asking, do I play the bass clarinet much? I do. I'm not sure I've played it for you guys, but maybe I'll do that next week. Maybe I'll do that next week for you all. But I love the bass clarinet. Great bass clarinet player Eric Dolphy was incredible, absolutely incredible. Played with John Coltrane also, and had a brilliant solo career. He passed when he was 36 years old, I think, from a diabetic coma. They thought that he was clean. He wasn't, he wasn't doing drugs. He didn't drink, but he was diabetic, and apparently after a gig, or maybe during a gig, he passed out, and they thought, oh well, here's a American jazz musician. He must be a junkie, and so they said, well, we'll just let him sleep it off, and of course, he never woke up from the coma, and that's how Eric Dolphy passed. It was tragic, absolutely tragic. Anyhow, yeah, so maybe next week I will grab the baritone sax and play that. I mean, the bass clarinet, rather, and play that for you. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go out with this tune. And I want to thank you all once again for hanging out with me tonight. ITAstudiostreams.com. And if you go to ITAstudiostreams.com, there is a PayPal link in there. If you feel like donating, 100% of the money you donate goes to local Nashville musicians. I'm hoping that at the beginning of August, I'm going to start being able to have a trio up here of local musicians that can play, and I will be able to pay them out of that fund for a regular gig, and I'll be able to pay people through the fall. So ITAstudiostreams.com. Again, no amount is too small to donate. No amount is too large to donate. So we thank you very, very much for that as well. This tune that I'm going to play for you right now is a tune that I wrote 30 years ago, like 30 years in a few days. And the reason I know that is that some friends of mine who live in Oregon, Greg Johnson and his wife Callie, they got married 30 years ago. And this was a tune I wrote for their wedding. And that was my wedding gift to them. And so for their 30th anniversary, I re-recorded it. And it's all with saxophone. So I've got Wurlitzer. I'm playing Wurlitzer keyboards. I'm playing tenor. Bass clarinet is on here. Clarinet, bass flute. And I've also got a little bit of a vinyl sound, like a record sound that you'll hear at the very beginning of it. And I want to play this for y'all. And I'm going to go out with this tonight. So I want to say thank you once again. Thank you, Julia. And my other assistant, Alex, for helping me out along the way with all this stuff. And I'm not sure if my mom is watching on her phone or her computer. But hi, Mom. I love you, as always. And I want to thank you for all checking this out tonight. I'll be here every Friday at 7 p.m. Central. And I'm going a little long tonight, but really appreciate you tuning in and spending some time with me tonight. Really appreciate it. So this one's called And Beyond. Thanks, Leslie. Thanks, Nina. Hey, Natalie, thank you. Hope you're doing well down there. Hey, Darlene, thank you. Thanks, Beth. Thanks, Shirley. Hope you have a great weekend. Thank you, Heather. Thanks, Mike. Lori, thank you. Yeah, Don, you're welcome. Thank you. Hey, Brazil. Bruna. Hey, Brazil. Hey, Brazil. Hey, Brazil. Thanks, Roberto. Mike, thank you. Casey and Bob, thanks, y'all. Good to hear, Natalie. Thanks, Gabby. Hugs to you, too. Hear the record sound. So anyways, well, thanks, everybody. Thanks to you all, and big hugs to you. Hey, Priya. Nice to see you on here. Priya, you have the timing like I have. A couple of live streams I've gotten on recently. I get on and they're like, "Thank you very much. Thanks for tuning in, and good night." And hey, Yuko, my sister-in-law is tuning in from Japan, and so maybe I'll stay on for just another minute, just so I can play something for Yuko. And maybe I'll play the tune that we started with tonight, kind of bookend it a little bit, and we'll play it all the way through. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of play along. What the heck, you know? And maybe I'll even play another solo. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. See what happens. Just because. Okay, Yuko-chan, this one's for you. Here we go. Okay, here we go, everybody. If you have another name for it, let me know. Everybody say hi to Yuko. My battery is low, and I'm over time. And much love to everybody out there. Take good care of yourselves. Take good care of each other. And I will see you next week, 7 o'clock Central, itastudiostreams.com. Check it out. I'll be here. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Peace. Bye, Yuko.